The night air hung heavy over East Ridge, cold and sharp. Maya Brooks ran barefoot through narrow alleys, her thin shoes worn to the sole. Hunger clawed at her belly, but fear drove her faster. Her swollen stomach was a constant, painful reminder of the life inside her. Behind her, shouts rang out. "She's here! Don't let her escape!" The men of Madeline and Vanessa Sterling pushed through the shadows, relentless in the pursuit. Orders were clear. Eliminate Maya, the one who had dared to exist outside the Sterling family's control. Maya pressed herself against a wall. A shadow lunged. She twisted, tripping over a broken crate, sharp pain tearing through her side and belly. "Stay with me, survive my son," she whispered, clutching her stomach. She stumbled into an abandoned warehouse, doors creaking, empty crates scattered across the floor. Dust and decay filled the air, but it was a refuge, however small. From the shadows, a figure appeared, a woman with a small satchel, dressed in patched clothes. Jasmine Riley's eyes widened when she saw Maya collapse to the floor. She had been walking home after a long day of odd jobs, her own stomach empty, her body tired, but she could not ignore the woman in need. "Are you okay?" Jasmine whispered, cautious. "They'll kill me," Maya gasped. I caw." Jasmine knelt beside her. "SHH, it's okay. Come with me. I have nothing, but we can hide here, at least for a while." Maya hesitated, looking around at the warehouse's darkness. There was no one else, no protection, no choice. She nodded and with trembling steps followed Jasmine. Hours passed. Sweat and blood mingled as labor contractions racked Maya's body. Finally, she lifted the tiny, dark-skinned infant into her arms. Tears streamed down her cheeks. You'll be called Elijah," she whispered, voice shaking. "Elijah Carter, my son." Jasmine placed a gentle hand on Maya's shoulder. "He's strong, he'll survive, you'll survive. We'll make sure of it," she said softly. Maya wrapped Elijah in a tattered blanket. "We'll get through this together," she whispered, holding him close. In the following weeks, life was a constant struggle. Maya and Elijah scavenged scraps, slept in hidden corners, and moved through East Ridge like shadows. Hunger was a daily companion, every sound might signal danger. Yet Maya never let go of her son, hugging him tightly every night. "See the stars, Elijah," she whispered in the dark. One day we'll be safe and you can laugh without fear." Elijah cooed, unaware of the peril around him. Tears filled Maya's eyes. "I promise, my boy." "We will survive," she whispered, kissing his tiny forehead. Meanwhile, Jasmine Riley returned to her modest home, weary and hungry herself. She had no idea that this boy she had helped deliver would one day be entwined with her own daughter, Naomi Harper, who would grow up to stand alongside Elijah in battles that neither of them could yet imagine. The shadows of East Ridge remained, silent and waiting, as mother and son faced a future filled with struggle, danger, and the faintest hope for survival. Years passed, and Elijah grew under the careful, watchful eyes of Maya and Jasmine. The bitter wind cut through the narrow streets as 12-year-old Elijah clutched a worn coat around his thin frame, hunger gnawing at him. Naomi Harper walked beside him, her dark eyes sharp and alert. Through the bond between their mothers, they had known each other since childhood. "Are you sure this is going to work?" Elijah whispered. Naomi shook her head. "We don't have a choice. Mama, she can't make it through another day without food." "We have to try." They crept toward the Sterling Enterprises bakery. The scent of fresh bread was tantalizing, cruelly reminding them of what they lacked. "Quick, just grab enough and we leave," Elijah whispered. Naomi nodded. They reached for a few loaves. The clerk spotted them. "Hey, stop them!" Elijah grabbed Naomi's hand. "Run!" A tall man entered, the Tycoon Victor Sterling himself, observing quietly. "Take them to the station," he ordered, calm yet piercing. Security escorted the children to the local police station. Victor Sterling left without further action. Back at their small apartment, Maya's heart raced as the news reached her. "Elijah and Naomi, they've been taken," she whispered to Jasmine. Jasmine shook her head. "Yes, but we'll get them back. I can lend some money and we might find help from others." Hours passed as they scrambled through East Ridge. Finally, at the police station, they handed over cash and the children were released. Elijah and Naomi ran to Maya, relief flooding their faces. "Mom!" Elijah exclaimed. Maya pulled him close and then, in a sharp, reflexive motion, tapped his cheek. "Do you understand what you've done? Stealing is wrong." Tears welled in her eyes. Naomi, sensing the tension, looked down, nervous. I know, but this isn't the way. You have to learn even when life is cruel." Elijah looked at Naomi. "We'll be better, I promise." Naomi gave a small smile. Together, always together. Though the streets of East Ridge were harsh and unforgiving, the bonds of friendship and family had grown stronger, forged in hardship. The narrow streets were already alive with the morning bustle. Maya tightened the straps of her worn sack as she trudged toward the crowded market. Elijah scanned the alleyways, sharp and curious. "Elijah, stay close," Maya whispered. "I'm right here, Mama," he replied. Maya bent down, adjusting his jacket. "Remember, we do this to survive. One day you'll understand why." Unnoticed, Gideon Crawford, the tall and meticulous steward of Sterling Enterprises, observed her movements, nodding her urgency and the care with which she shielded Elijah. His report to the Sterling mansion drew immediate attention. "She still has the boy. That child, he could be a threat," Vanessa Sterling said coldly. "Prepare arrangements. We cannot afford a repeat of past embarrassments," Madeline added. The wheels of Sterling power began to turn, readying a storm neither Maya nor Elijah could yet see. Night swallowed East Ridge. Maya and Elijah hurried through alleys, senses alert. Maya slowed, glanced over her shoulder, feeling danger. "Mom, what's wrong?" Elijah asked. "Nothing, just keep close." Gunshots rang out. Maya felt sharp pain tear through her leg. "Elijah, you have to go. You must survive," she gasped, handing him a small, worn photograph of herself with Victor Sterling. Tears blurred his eyes. "No, Mom, I won't leave you." He finally ran, plunging into the dark river, clutching the photograph. The night swallowed him, but within the darkness burned a fierce determination, a seed of vengeance, a spark that would ignite in the days to come. The cold sun crept over East Ridge. Elijah's body shivered, clothes damp and muddy. Memories of the chase, gunshots, and his mother's final words flooded him. "Mom, don't leave me," he sobbed, clutching the photograph. He wandered aimlessly until he arrived at Naomi's home. She opened the door, seeing his tear-streaked, mud-covered face. "Elijah, what happened? Where's your mom?" she exclaimed. Elijah broke down. Jasmine and Naomi held him, comforting him as he recounted everything: the chase, the attack, and Maya's sacrifice. Yet in his eyes now burned a new fire. "I can't stay. I have to survive. I have to get stronger. One day I'll make them pay," he whispered, a seed of vengeance firmly planted. The grand gates of Sterling Manor towered before him that evening. His heart pounded violently as he pushed past guards, desperate for the truth. Inside, Victor Sterling's birthday celebration paused mid-conversation. Victor's eyes widened in disbelief as he saw the boy struggling. Madeline and Vanessa Sterling stood rigid, mouths open. Elijah collapsed in the courtyard, clutching the photograph. I'm Elijah, your son, Maya Brooks' son. You left us." Victor's face contorted with anger and disbelief. Mrs. Sterling, Victor's mother, stepped forward, frozen. "Maya, it's her boy, the child of Maya," she whispered. The night hung heavy with stunned silence. Elijah realized the path of survival, truth, and revenge had only just begun.